Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Leonard Triple G, this time with a Dauntless video. In this video, I'll be reviewing the Umbral Escalation that came with Call of the Void. Yes, that's how I call it. I already reviewed the training grounds. It's another video which I'll post in the description for you if you want to see it. Now, the Umbral Escalation. I really enjoy Escalation. It was one of those things that once I started to play Dauntless, I wanted to have in the game because I don't like that thing that have a loading screen, select the weapons or the loadout that you want, go and fight the behemoth, and then come out, and then you have to repeat everything to fight another behemoth. So I really wanted a mode that had several to fight at the same time. So I was really happy with escalation. I'm happy with all the escalations. At this point, I just think that the first one should have a variant for electric behemoths, but that's too far ahead. Also, I have heard from the devs in the interwebs that they are planning a new type of mission which will have like an open world where you fight several behemoths. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy the way they did open worlds in Warframe. I mean, it's not bad, but it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. So I hope Dauntless does it a little bit better. Now, talking about the Umbral itself. The good parts. You have now umbral variations of the behemoths. That's really cool, especially Skarn, because Skarn is like at this point at the level that I am. It's a little more like a punching bag. He doesn't even have like a terrifying form, which he used to have, but it was removed from the game for reasons I don't know. So it's really cool to to face these, and they have different attacks and they have different mechanics, and it's really good to find a behemoth that you already thought you knew, and now he's different. That's really cool. Another thing that we have is a new boss, which has like a worm feeling, a worm look design to it. It's really gross, and that's why I like it. It is a wound escalation, which is very rare because I think devs realized that not a lot of people were using wound type of elements, which is a war pike, of course, which is I think it's the only one that really does wound unless you have potions. I would prefer that they would rework the war pike and then release Umbral Escalation with wound. Right now they have reworked a little bit of the war pike, but it's not enough. It's not up there with strikers. It's not even equal to swords. Some people might enjoy it because it is a more complex or more difficult weapon to use. I have mixed feelings. Sometimes I like to use it because now when you twirl it, all the tools hit instead of just being the last frames of animation that hit. But other than that, it's still a very clunky and problematic and not even powerful weapon to use. But it's now got a little boost in escalation, and I like to see that. Just because some people might not use a warpike, say, oh, warpike is trash, and in this escalation they don't have to use it, but they have more advantages using it. So that might work to people that never use it, got a chance to use it. People who dropped it now have a chance to go back to it. And in that sense, I think it's working. Also, you got new amps. One of the amps that I was most interested to see was an amp that not only gives you your potions back, but it gives you your revives back, and that's really cool because if you're trying to do escalation alone, you'll probably die a lot of times, and you'll have you just failed the escalation. You won't reach the end, or you won't reach the boss. But with this change, I think it was a good change. I'm glad they did it. I'm also glad they did it because this Umbral Escalation is really hard. I mean, compared to the other two, man, this is really complicated. I don't know if they just reworked the behemoths to work in tandem against you. We know they're stronger unless you unlock all of the amps, until you get to level 3 where you are decreasing the damage that you take and increasing the damage that you do. Because when I started, oh my god, I was getting hit left and right, and just a little how do you say, a little graze from a behemoth probably took your entire life out. So yeah, I guess that's why they have two of them, an easy one and a harder one. But everybody just wants to go to the harder one to fight the boss, and immediately build the weapons and the armor and all that. So it was complicated. So that's one of the negatives. There are unfortunately a lot of them. One of them that I really hate, and I already hate this in the actual fight against the behemoth, it's spitters. Spitters here have an additional problem. And spitters launch grenades against you or shots against you, and then they run away. Now that's one of the problems. They distance yourself from you and the behemoth, so you have to stop fighting the behemoth, run to the edge of the screen to fight the spitter, or to kill the spitter, and then run back to the behemoth. And this takes a lot of time and a lot of stamina to do, and not all weapons are good for this. Another thing is, and this happens not only in spitters but in other things, is the color of the spitter. I mean, the entire Umbral Escalation is very dark. It's very blue and a little bit of purple. And so once you're trying to find the spitters, because you don't have a radar to tell you where they are, you have to look around. Sometimes I end up killing the spitter when I'm running back to the behemoth, and then another spitter that was right beside it and I didn't saw it hits me with something, or just keeps firing, or it's really complicated. It's really annoying. Also, when you have a team of 4, they're fighting from everywhere, and if you're in the middle of the behemoths with all of this happening, I mean, I save a footage just to show you how insane this is, because it's very complicated to just you just have to pile through it. So the other one that causes the same problem, it's splitting umbral. Splitting umbral is like a mist, a purple or pink or pinkish, purplish mist that comes around, and when it hits you, it takes a lot of damage. It hits you, especially if you're just beginning with your hands. It practically kills you, and you can't see it. You just can't see it. You're in the middle of a fight, all funny, and that thing hits you in the back, and you fall down and go, what happened? Where did that come from? What come from? what come from? Great. So yeah, it's really annoying. It's really complicated. You can't see it. You can't hit them properly, because that's another problem that this Umbral Escalation has, and you can see it even in the Riftstalker, because again after the update, Riftstalker has this problem, which is the hitboxes are bugged. I don't know what happens, but when behemoths do certain moves, or they're in a certain position, or you are in a certain position against the behemoth, you're trying to hit it and you're completely missing it. It just miss. The Riftstalker, if you try to fight the Riftstalker now, at least at the moment of this recording, he has this problem. But doing Umbral Escalation, I also found this problem multiple times. I mean, that's why sometimes you keep missing. You have to rotate the camera. Also, the camera still has a lot of problems. They tried this new camera where you zoom in and zoom out fighting the behemoths, which I was fine with it, but when they did this for Blaze Escalation. But then they turned it off because people weren't adjusting to it, people weren't happy with it, and I think most of those people were on PC because they can adjust the camera as they want faster. They can put the rotation. They can even change the field of view in options, but on console we can't. We cannot change the field of view, and we try to automatically adjust the camera, which I think it's done with L3. And L3 is the one. It's also this joystick where we move, so you can see the problem. Sometimes I have to let go of the move and switch to R3, and then R3 to L3, and then it gets very complicated to trying to adjust the camera, trying to dodge, and trying to hit. Trying to do this juggling all at the same time at this moment on console. So yeah, it can be chaotic. Again, I have footage of how chaotic this can get, and it's really complicated because you get hit from multiple sides multiple times. Also, some of the objects that are fired against you, like the Naizaga balls, not the Naizaga balls, I'm sorry, the electric balls that come from the horns of the Naizaga that he puts on the ground. Those things sometimes pass through behemoths and hit you. That's just one example. Other objects like that also happen on Umbral Escalation. So you're trying to defend yourself from these objects by putting the behemoth between you and them, and they still pass through the behemoth and they hit you. So there's a lot of. I know they've done a lot of bug fixing right after it dropped, but it's better than it was. And of course now my amp is a lot stronger. I think at the moment I have it already in level 3, so it doesn't show as much, But what I end up doing is just pile through it. I just put my head down and pile through it, and if I get hit, I get hit, because between getting hit and landing the hit, or trying to dodge and still get hit, I rather just get hit. I just rather than land the hit and just hit it. This is most pervasive against the boss, because the boss moves incredibly fast and totally frenetic, one side to the other, one side to the other. I don't know, yeah, and because of all these problems that we have, camera, the dodge, and everything, it gets really complicated. Now they have reworked the dodge for client dodge, where if you have a slow ping or something like that, your dodge is improved, but the dodge is still incredibly inconsistent. I mean, the timing of the behemoth hit, with the timing of your roll, and we now have a visual cue, like I said before on my video of training house. You have now a visual cue where you see when you're invulnerable, because your character becomes like transparent, but it's still not 100% accurate. I pressed the button. One of the things that was happening, I don't know if it happens now because I'm just not dodging that much, but one of the things that was happening before is that I would press the button and nothing would happen. I mean, literally nothing. It's one of those things that's most frustrating for me, playing Dauntless for over a year and seeing this thing still present. Dodging does not cancel the animation of your fighting. I've seen footage of people in PC doing this. They're starting to a combo and then the behemoth does this preemptive move before attacking, and they immediately dodge, and it works. Me, if I try to do that, it doesn't do anything. I mean, the animation will just continue and I'll get hit. I'll have to be like, it's like taking potions. I almost have to be like completely still for the dodge to work. I have to look at the behemoth, say, okay, it's gonna do it now, hit, and even so sometimes it doesn't happen. It's just inconsistent. I don't want to say too bad things about it, because for the most time it serves its purpose, but when you're really in the tough fight, when you're really in the middle of it, like I was in, like all of us were in the beginning of Escalation, you have all these behemoths and all this fighting going around, and you're trying to do your best, and it's just working against you. So yeah, that's the real problem. As time goes on, I'm sure this will get better and better, and as stronger as we can get, it's also easier. But there's an incredible unbalance right here in this system. There's I won't say imbalance. It's an issue. There's an incredible issue with this system still at its core. But other than that, I enjoy Escalation. I enjoy all of the Escalation. I enjoy Umbral Escalation a lot. I think I use Warpikes better than I did before. I'm not particularly fond of Warpikes, but I think if they did a rework, to a proper good rework to them, I would enjoy them more and really work with them against the behemoth. And in that sense, I enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy picking up the spear at the warpike and going against the behemoths. So those are my opinions on Umbral Escalation that came with Call of the Void. Bottom line is, I still like Umbral Escalation because I like Escalation as a mode, the challenge or type of hunt itself. I like Warpike. I mean, they're not my favorite, but they're better than they were, and you can do some pretty cool things with it. And yeah, I'm still enjoying Dauntless. I still enjoy playing it, and I love it. If you like to comment, please comment on what you like, what you don't like about Umbral Escalation. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please like and subscribe. As always, have a great game, guys.